eyes, chakras, and angry runs and broken scepters. No other show, okay? Only on this one.
That's right.
Good Morning Football.
That's right.
Love it. We got to get another scepter, though. That's for sure. Get some scotch tape, some duct tape on that bad boy. All right,
Scepters
so let's
are
talk about some trade deadline names. Yes, I'm getting to it. The trade deadline, it is fast approaching, a little over a week away. And as our guy Tom Pelissero at the top of the show mentioned, there are a lot of big names that potentially could be on the move. And there's one that currently resides in Atlanta. One of those names being thrown around in trade rumors is quarterback Matt Ryan. And with the team off to 1-6 starts, some people think moving Ryan for draft picks might be the best way to go for Atlanta. President and CEO Rich McKay said they don't plan to trade veterans like Ryan or Julio Jones, but that hasn't stopped the rumors. Here's Ryan on his desire to stay with the Falcons.
I don't worry about that stuff. I don't think about it. My job is, to get dialed in for Thursday night. And so I've said it all along. I love Atlanta. I want to be here. I want to be a part of this organization. But, I don't worry about noise outside our building. I try and focus on, week to week, get myself ready to go. So I've said it, I want to be here, and hopefully that'll be the case.
Would be weird to see him in another uniform. Meanwhile, in Dallas, with the Cowboys up to 2-5 start, the fan base is really growing restless with their team's performance. The Cowboys have allowed at least 25 points in 6 straight games, which is tied with the Jags for the longest active streak in the NFL. Now, despite the struggles, Executive Vice President Stephen Jones still standing by head coach Mike McCarthy.
I know we've got the right head guy for the job, and it's a work in progress. These things just take time. And I know our fans are frustrated. We certainly understand the criticism that's coming our way, that's going to come our way, that's come our way. We understand that, but we've got to go to work.
And with Andy Dalton in the concussion protocol, it looks like it could be 7th-round pick Ben DiNucci could be making his first NFL start against the Eagles on Sunday, Kay.
Yeah, I called him Bill DiNucci famously on the show. Didn't know much about him, and he could be getting that look. They have to fix something going forward. These are the Cowboys. This is America's team, so thank you, Will. We'll talk to you in a bit. Let's bring in the guys here. What should be the top priority, Nate, for this Cowboy squad moving forward as far as turning things around?
Very simple. Defense needs to stop somebody. Superstars need to step up. Defense is giving up historically a historic amount of production to every offense that they face. Their running back, Zeke Elliott, he doesn't look good. Amari Cooper is trying, but they're not getting the ball to him. And I'll say this, and I saw this on Twitter, and I'm not going to, start any rumors, but I think the quarterback that knows the playbook the most is the one that's the offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore might want to consider putting on a helmet again, because if Andy Dalton looked like that in the Cowboys uniform, I hope DiNucci looks okay, but Kellen Moore might have a better chance of running this offense, because every single quarterback that has been in there after Dak just doesn't look the part. But going back to a more serious note, it's the defense. When you're a defense and your starting quarterback goes down, you have to step up for the backup. And if your backup goes down, you have to step up for the third stringer. The reason I know this is because it happened when I was in Detroit. Matt Stafford went down, and then Shaun Hill went down, and then Drew Stanton came in. And we rose to the challenge. We didn't fold in games and say, our quarterback's going, so it's a wrap for us. No, everybody has to step up. And the defensive side of the ball, they have to lead.
And I'll look at that side of the ball and say, Nate, I agree. And whoever's not on board, whoever is behind the scenes, I'm talking player-wise, complaining to the coaches that the scheme needs to change and it needs to be simplified because that's what it was in the past. Listen, if they're not on board, they got to go. If you're saying, Stephen Jones, it's a work in progress, and you're behind this coaching staff, then you've got to figure out which players can work with this coaching staff. And, Jalen Smith, to me, whether it's been effort or understanding or physical limitations, whatever we've said throughout this year, it's a huge question mark for this team. And I know you're maybe looking at the stats and saying, Mike, what are you talking about? This is the leader in tackles in the NFL right now. Man, tackles are a misleading stat, and they certainly are in this case. And I go back to this past week. I mean, the effort was there this week, but he was out of position again. He was juked. He was over pursuing. I don't know if he's still having issues understanding the scheme, but at some point, if you're the Cowboys, if you're truly behind Mike Nolan and this coaching staff, you've got to figure out which players can work with him.
You do, and you have to figure out a lot of things. But I said yesterday, what the Cowboys need to do is you got to hit rock bottom before you can build back up. I don't think it was against Washington. I don't think it was against Cleveland. But I think it might have happened. Yesterday, Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Nolan, in the middle of his press conference, had to shut the damn thing down because he got Tabasco sauce in his eyeball. Literally said, I was just eating lunch. I rubbed my eye. Oh, my gosh. He had to stop. Jane Slater, it was all over it, of course, and tweeted, this is a real thing that happened. Easily the most awkward phone pause ever, legit answering a question about DeMarcus Lawrence, then nothing for a bit. Jane says, I've got an icy hot in my eye, so to be honest, I can only imagine how much this hurt. I think this is it. I think this is rock bottom. Do you remember a few years ago when the Rams were terrible and Jeff Fisher literally couldn't find the challenge flag in his 50 pockets of his parka? That was rock bottom. I think this is rock bottom. The leader of the defense, who could not stop anybody, is burning his eyes out. Now, there's a lot of theories that he did it on purpose to wash his eyes after watching his own defense play on tape. Maybe.
Oh, come
I just would love to say, normally, as we return to studio, we would do the Dallas Cowboys challenge. We would have me and Peter or whoever, Kay, if you want to do it. You got to either put Tabasco in your eyes or watch 5 minutes of Cowboys defensive tape and see which you can last longer. I genuinely think they've finally hit rock bottom. This is a positive story. Mike Nolan, if you took one for the team and did it on purpose, which I wouldn't blame you for, we finally did it. This is the low point, the nadir, to use the cool word, of the 20 Cowboys. Splash Tabasco into the eyes. I think we did it, and now we can rebuild.
Yikes. Sorry, Nolan. I saw that story and I was like, ooh, good point, Kyle. Who knows? Maybe Ben DiNucci's the second coming of Romo. Former, FCS quarterback, under the radar guy. He could blossom into a star. Who knows? Let's talk Steelers after this.
Active and bold, courageous or dull, emotions that